York. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Jersey's own. You've seen the movie, Laura Stiles.
I did.
Give it up for Queen Latifah right now on Ebro.
Yeah.
Hi. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
I told her, okay, so I got the opportunity to attend the screening of Girls Trip. And because I didn't know what to expect. Ebro, I almost shed tears. I was cracking up. It was just so good. It was really amazing to see Jada like in that character as a
funny?
square. She had me cracking up.
She starts out as a square.
Yeah. It's about,
wait,
you know what?
Wait. Talking about Jada gets turned out?
Listen, Ebro. It's like, so I
Her
told
name
her.
is Lisa. She's not Jada. She's
Yeah.
a
Okay,
character.
fine.
And Lisa can hit if she wants, okay?
It hit home for me because I told her, like, we have this girls trip that we do, and we happen to go to New Orleans. And in the movie, the girls trip, they go to Essence Fest in New Orleans.
Do you ever happen to go to New Orleans? No, you intend to go. You know where you going, girl, you and your girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so good. We had a great time. We gave
had
away
a
some
great
passes. We had a
time.
great time.
That's what I'm just happy to hear it. I mean, the response to this movie is insane. I not since Set It Off have I wanted to go to a movie theater and just sit there with everybody and sneak in at the end, in the back and just watch it. I want to see this movie like 8 times. I saw Set It Off 8 times in the theater with people, regular people, and I want to see this one just to see how everybody reacts to all the laugh because you're gonna miss it. You might have to see this movie twice because people gonna be laughing so hard you're gonna miss things. So you might have to go back and catch it one more time.
Essence Fest, and shout to Essence because
Yeah.
that has become a part of culture
Definitely.
for women in America to get together, and men too. But
Yeah.
there was a time there when I went down there a few times, and I feel it was like, I looked around, I was like, I'm the only dude down here like this. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's
it's a good
It's a
thing
good
for you
thing.
to be there.
It's a good
My
thing.
bodyguard, Keith, he's like, I don't know, this is where every single man should be here. He be going hard.
Facts. And women want you there too at the Essence Fest because they
definitely.
want to feel supported and exalted and
yeah.
you know what I mean, and appreciated.
Believe that. And this is, where women feel when they come to Essence Fest and what they're able to experience and, enjoy doing, it just lifts our spirit,
So
collectively.
talk to me about Girls Trip because as a man, right, we have to get permission to go on our trips, right? We gotta ask, we gotta plan. The trip the friends have to get vetted, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
who you going with.
Right.
You can't be going with the single friends can't come. Like why you hanging out with him? Right?
And they
Like,
gotta be your real friends.
and they gotta
Don't
be
tell me
real
about
friends.
somebody you
It
just
can't-
met last year.
And it can't be the dude that already has been divorced and going through something because then your lady feeling so. So talk
He's
to me
always
about
going to
the,
come, though.
always, or we don't tell them that we don't tell them,
Exactly.
and we keep them out the photos. Tell me about this girls trip because this is something that women do. This is something that women need too.
Women have always done this, have always needed this, just like guys do. You need time with your boys. You know what I mean? And women understand that. And it's more typical. I think we talk about it more. We see movies about it more, but we do the same thing. So it was about time that we saw it from our point of view, and told through the eyes of these 4 Black women. And it's what happens is what really happens. Oftentimes, at least with me and my girls, like when we away, we allow ourselves to go there. We're where we are. We want to have some fun. We want to cut loose. I mean, you're talking about women raising kids. They become the wives.
Right.
They've kind of turned their lives all towards family and relationship. But they're women, and they was a woman when you met them, and they need to feel sexy and fun and maybe flirt a little bit. Maybe they don't go as far as some, everybody doesn't have to go all the way, but it's nice to like flirt with somebody or have somebody, kind of look at you who's not your man. You know what I mean? So, and get kind of drunk and forget about a few things. And what happens stays there, wherever it is. We already know that. Same rules apply with that.
I think what was nice, Ebro, though, is because as women, like, we get lost. You know what I mean? We get in relationships. Like she said, we have kids. And then in the movie, it was really good to see how your real girlfriends from like years that you've built, a foundation with, even though you don't, the kind of girlfriends that you don't talk to every day, But when you get together, it's like
It's on.
you didn't
Like
miss
no
a beat.
time. Yeah, exactly. No time passed.
And the people who really know who you are. So if you
Yep.
became lost and became somebody else, like they're there to ground you and bring you back home.
Right. That's
So-
right.
so what
You
I'm hearing-
you got this whole
Yeah.
thing. Keep talking. Keep talking.
No, fellas, what I'm hearing here is definitely when your girl, wife, whomever goes on this girls trip, somebody's cheating.
Yeah, she gonna smash.
Not
It's like,
everyone.
no, I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
No, she's not.
Calm down. Look, calm down. Let her go for a minute. Good. She coming back. Calm down. Let her live for a minute. She'll come back happier.
She still loves you, and she'll come back happier.
Of course, she loves you. She probably love you more. Because oftentimes you go on a trip, you want to you hope something crazy will happen, but then you realize how much you love what you already have at home.
Right.
And that's just the real life part. But this particular movie, it's a lot more going on. I mean, Jada's character Lisa is total homebody, all about the kids, divorced. Ain't she ain't got that back blown out. You know what I mean? And she overdue. So we try to remind her of who she is underneath the wild, crazy Lisa from college.
Yo, how beautiful is Queen Latifah?
Amazing.
Listen, I'm sitting here. It's tough to do this interview. This is tough.
You're not bad looking yourself.
Don't start. Don't
Don't take him there. All he needs is a.
You gotta not look
I'll
into
come over there.
people's
I will
eyes.
come over there and cuddle you right now.
stop?
on this
I
I
camera.
could have done this whole interview in your arms. I don't see what the problem is.
I mean, let's get to
And
it.
you got your tan
Let's
on
get-
this
you
summer.
see,
You know what
you
I mean?
Me and Issa been at the
see
pool, baby.
Ebro tried to tell us one time that he was on Living Single.
I was back in the day.
And
I was
none
on
of us
episode.
believed
He
it.
was, though.
And we're like, we need
me
proof.
You don't remember. I tried
He
to
wasn't
holler
that
that.
bro.
I was on the radio back then. Y'all did like a radio DJ episode. It was like a Halloween.
Oh, wow.
themed
You
had dreads?
Party.
You
I
had your dreads?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
Wow. I want
Yeah.
to see that.
I'm gonna find it. And I tried to holler at you then.
Oh my
on the
God.
set.
I like it. He's
And
a man
and,
of
y'all-
action.
and one thing y'all don't know about Latifah is if you ever try to holler at her, well, I don't know what it's like now, so I wouldn't advise it. But back then, La will make you feel like, yeah, brother, yeah. Like she give you the little eyes and shit. You be like, yo, I'm moving.
Oh, that's cute.
And then hit you with the Heisman so tough when it's said and done.
I had a lot going on back then. I had to channel my energies. I was a young gunner back then.
You
There was a
was,
lot
right?
going on. So I'm glad I didn't get to make you a casualty of war.
A lot of casualties.
A lot of casualties.
But it's interesting, right? Because we've watched you, at least I have, as a fan of your music and as a fan of everything you've done. You've done everything. Like you, like, and I say that in like you took it as far as it could be taken as a kid from hip hop culture.
Right.
When did you see it? Did it happen along the way, or did you see it in the beginning when you first started?
I think we saw it in the beginning. I mean, just as our crew, Flavor Unit, hanging out in the basement with Mark the 45 King, me, Apache, Lati, Lakim, Lord Ali Baski, like the whole crew, we, Shy, Paul, I mean, it's a bunch of us. And we would sit around and spend like hours talking about what we wanted to do in our dreams and how we wanted to get our families out the hood and how we didn't, we would hear about the stories like James Brown, people who signed away all their publishing or people who made all these hit records and then were broke, and so we were trying not to repeat those mistakes, trying to learn from those who came before us. But, we felt like we had something special. Like this hip hop this was it. This was the way to do it. This, and it was a lot of hustling, drug dealing and stuff back then. We didn't want to go that route, or those of us didn't want to stay in that lane. You know what I mean? So even that was a way for entrepreneurs, people with entrepreneurial talents, to use them in a legal, positive kind of way. So, and then you got all these people with all this talent, and it's just, okay, how do we take this and go there? If we saw a crack, we gonna definitely push through that thing and kick that door all the way open. And for us, it was about leaving the door open, not closing it behind ourselves and keeping it all to ourselves. It was about passing this on. So when I got on with Tommy Boy, all of us, a bunch of us were signed to various labels, small labels mostly, and my record happened to pop. Like my first album came out, it sold like 400,000 copies plus, just in the first several months, and I kind of got hot. So we used that leverage. We opened up Flavor Unit Management. We got all of our boys, Apache, La, all of them, got them out of these bad deals, got them into better deals, and then we all just kept rising, at the same time. And Shakim and I really always had the business mind. We always wanted to open up a management company, control these things ourselves, and change the deals for our buddies, our best friends who were in these terrible, terrible deals. So we did that. That was our first mission and the first reason we even opened up Flavor Unit. And then as we started to do it and get everything popping with them, then we signed Naughty by Nature. We found them in East Orange. They lived like 5 minutes from me in East Orange. And it just kept growing. Like people started seeing what we were doing and wanting to sign with us. So it was then Monica and Latifah and Faith and, Outkast. And it just grew. It grew into a bigger
A lot of
company.
people don't know you guys managed all those people.
Yeah.
And helped all those
I didn't know
people
about
navigate.
Outkast.
Yeah. A lot of people don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. We managed Outkast for the first several albums. We saw them perform at the Summer Jam in L.A. And we was like, damn, who is these dudes? And it was just like me and Shaw watching them and the way that they were dancing when they were rhyming, they just had this vibe and this
They had
flavor.
a bop, remember?
They had a
their
bop that
timing
was
together.
ill. We was
Yeah.
like, yo, they could get the party rocking, not just rhyme, not just make a dope record, but like they live on stage get the party rocking. So we just fell for them in that way, and got it going with them like that. But it was always about continuing to use this momentum that we were building to keep moving forward and opening up new doors, because we knew we had lots of ideas and lots of talent. We just needed to be able to connect with the people that could make it happen. And that's what we did with that. That's what we did with Living Single. And with the success of those things, and then I wanted to become a more serious actor. So I was looking for something serious, to not be, I kept getting all these roles that were like Queen Latifah. So the character in House Party, somebody must have thought, oh, Queen, what is Queen Latifah like? And they make this strong, Afrocentric kind of girl. And I'm like, they don't know me at all. I mean, I am strong and Afrocentric, but there's a lot more
than that,
to me than that. And it started to be that cookie cutter kind of role. And Khadijah was based on me. You know what I mean? Like Yvette rolled around me for like a couple of weeks, just absorbing my language and the way I speak and my style. And, so that was still kind of me. And I needed to do something to make Hollywood see me as more versatile. And so Gary Gray was about to direct this video for me for Black Hand Side on my Black Rain album. And he wanted to do something different, than Friday. He wanted to do some action movies and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. Me too. I want to play like a killer, or I want to like, something completely different, hard, whatever. So then Set It Off came up. And then he was doing Set It Off, and I was like, yo, you found it. He's like, I got this movie. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna audition for it. So I had the prop guy from Living Single get me this rubber 9mm. I braided my hair to the back. I threw on some Dickies and I was just straight G'd up. And I went in that interview like, yo.
I'm Cleo.
I became Cleo. I'm like, look, we about to get in here. I'm about to bust on these. I whip my shit out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you good.
I whip my joint out, you know what I mean? And I was there, and it was like, the casting, they were like, just their faces looked like they were blown away. And then that started like a whole different, realm. And that's when me and Jada got cool. And I knew Jada already before that, but that's when we all like we bonded, you know what I mean? And Vivica and Kim, like that was like almost this version, but then, summer camp. It was so much fun, just busting guns and robbing banks and driving cars. And, it was amazing. I don't even know what the hell we were talking about.
I wanted that, but all of that
down memory lane.
No, but I wanted that because at many points in people's lives, they're confronted with things they've never done before. And if you're telling your story, and what we're hearing, or what I'm hearing, is you wanted to do things you never had done before.
Right. Search for the challenge.
You were seeking the challenge, right?
I'm just the type of person who is always, I'm into so many things at once. But I'm truly into them. If I like it, I like it. And if I believe I can do something, I believe I can do it. If I can't, then I don't even want to sign up to do it, because like my confidence won't be right with it. And so a lot of us, me and Shy, we always had something to prove. He He had to prove his worth as a manager, as a business mind, and myself as well. We sitting in front of executives at companies, billion-dollar companies, and we had to prove ourselves in that way. But we also had to prove everything we had to do. We had to prove. We carrying the banner of hip hop. No female had ever had a sitcom.
Never.
When Will did it, we like, yo, Will did it, we could do it. I mean, we've been on tour for months. It's like our brother,
Right.
And so when he did it, it was like, oh, wow, if he can do that, we can do it. So then, boom, we went and got Living Single. And he helped us with a pilot presentation before that. He was down with us too, to help us get on, gave me my first job on TV, so it was always this helping each other out kind of thing through the years. But, I get bored easily. So I have to constantly challenge myself. Otherwise, I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? I need something new. Something has to push me in order to get that thrill, that excitement. That I feel fulfilled with what I'm doing.
You're also the face of. I don't want to mess up the makeup company.
CoverGirl.
CoverGirl, yeah.
Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't know how sensitive that stuff is.
No.
But obviously for Black women, for voluptuous women, right? Women with shapes, and
For sure.
that was like, yo, Latifah, thank you. Like it was this up. Did they come to you, or was that something that you had an idea like, yo, y'all need to really pay attention to women who look like me?
I definitely felt that. And they did initially come to me. And I was like, the thought of being a cover girl, I mean, I'm seeing ads of my whole life, how big that would be. So once I became a cover girl, I thought to myself, this is going to be so amazing for everyone to see me as a cover girl, because I didn't get to see that cover girl growing up.
Of course.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And this is like one of the biggest brands in the world, so I realized how important that could be. And this is one of those like power moves that we've made through the years that I feel so positive about. It makes such an impact to young girls growing up. I know what impact it would have made on me. And so we took it even further. I'm like, the first thing I did was get that, go to the chemist and deal with them and get that ashy stuff out of the makeup.
What
I'm
do you
like,
mean?
whatever
What's
makes
that? I
people,
don't-
a lot of times if you look at movies back in the days when you see Black people on film, the makeup has this gray, it looks kind of
It's
ashy.
great
you know what I mean?
undertone. It's like,
It's not the tones that we, it's not what we look like. It's not our skin, the way it should look in all its various shades. It just always looked a little off and weird and grayish, And so we removed what was in that particular formula. We changed it and got rid of that, and it was instant. I wanted to do the Queen collection. I wanted to do a line of makeup for women of color because we just didn't have enough shades offered to us. And I'm figuring, well, if I'm a cover girl, I need to try to make this happen. Met with them. They were into the idea. We created Queen collection, 12 different shades. And it came from a woman in the airport, actually. She gave me the idea because she always worked at the lounge, at the first class lounge. So I would see her every time I went in the lounge. And she was so sweet and warm. She was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. You a cover girl. I love that. I wish y'all made a shade in my complexion. Okay. Let's go make a shade in her complexion. So it didn't go past me. It sat with me, and I took it back to Sha. I'm like, we need to make a line for women of color. We need to make these shades, because why am I a cover girl if we can't have different shades, And it should be from the lightest to the darkest and all the tones in between. Yeah. And then we did. And that's the one that was 12 different kinds, and people just responded so well. It's done amazing business through the years. So I'm very proud of that.
How proud of, I'm proud, but I used to get a kick out of, and still do, when you're on like mainstream TV, right? And they're like, Queen Latifah. I'm like, say that black shit, hey, goddammit, say it. How do you get that same joy inside? Because your real name's not Latifah, right? But, coming up, the time era we came in, we would change.
Yeah, of course.
Change the name.
Choose your own name.
Yeah, you wanted it to be
That's
purposeful.
right.
You didn't just want some, slave name,
right,
if you will.
Exactly.
And you took that as like, I mean,
I
everything.
never expected
everywhere.
it either. I couldn't believe. I'm like, damn, all I'm saying, they saying Queen Latifah,
No,
but do they realize?
Queen,
Right.
say it. Latifah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I'm gonna tell you one of the best things, man, I'm so hip hop. I mean, hip hop goes with you everywhere you go. I don't care how big you are, what you do. You start in hip hop, it just goes with you. It's in us. You know what I mean? It's in every aspect. So when I got nominated for the Oscar for Chicago, I just remember, excuse me, being in my house in Coast Neck, and I had just come off the road, done like jazz shows or something, like just come off the road, and I was asleep. And then I got this call at the crack of dawn. It's so early when they make this announcement. I'm butt ass in my room, but my house is like big and it has like not too many walls. So it's very open. And I just remember waking up and they told me I got nominated. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, thank God for hip hop. That's the first thing I said was thank God for hip hop, because hip hop has been my door to everything I've been able to do. You know, walking through that door as a rapper opened up all the possibilities for every place else I was able to go. So I had to, like, that was the first thing on my mind. And then to be at the Oscars, not that year, but to be at the Oscars and announce the category for best song in a movie, and it go to 3 6 Mafia.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Whoa, that's right.
Yo, somebody was just telling me like, oh man, and when you announced them, because I actually just did something for Empire, because Star, our TV show, is crossing over with Empire. We going back to back this season. And Craig Brewer was the guy who directed that movie and wrote it. And he's directing over there and stuff. So I saw him. It was like, damn. I'm like, so me and Taraji was talking about her when she gonna sing on the show. She was like, yeah. I'm like, girl, but you was dope, man. She's like, yeah, you announced that at the Oscar. Yo, that was a moment. When I opened that envelope, I'm in my gorgeous gown. This is one of them nights, and it's like, 3 seconds. I wanted to bang so hard on that stage. People who knew was like, yo, we saw your face change. Like, what? Yeah, hell yeah.
That's
I'm like, it
amazing.
was so exciting to watch them with all these gold teeth and shit, walking around with Oscars in their hands. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You
Hip-hop,
know,
hip-hop.
all things are possible. All things are possible.
You've had so many amazing moments in your career, but I
I'm
also
getting sleepy talking about all this stuff.
no, wait.
I've been working so hard.
I remember.
It paid off though now.
I remember. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it was the Grammys, but it was the time where you, I want to say officiated. Like it was like 34 gay straight couples came down and Macklemore's song is playing, and I was like, I remember watching it in tears. Tell me about that moment and how that came to me.
That was insane. That was an incredible moment. I had to think about it. I'm like, this is serious.
Yes.
Like, you want me to? So am I going to really marry them? They'll be married after this. So they had a commissioner come. I was doing my talk show at the time. Came over and like deputized me for 24 hours to be able to do this civil ceremony.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? But then I'm praying about it. I'm like, this is deep, you know? And for me, it's like, you got to be able to marry who you love.
Of course.
Period. Like, you need the same protections under the law. You die, they get it. You know, you get in the hospital, they can speak for you. Like, I'm not with that. It was like a story about this woman who was like in her 80s, had lived with, she was going before the Supreme Court, had lived with her girl for a woman, you know, for years, 40 years, and had some death benefits from the woman's previous husband or something like that. But either way, 40 years they've lived with each other. Her partner dies. Then the kids come, who don't even really have a great relationship, come in the house, start making all the decisions, taking over everything. I mean, how cold and hard is that, you know, to have someone who you've been connected with, who you know what they wake up and looking like in the morning and how they like certain things cooked, and you know all these things about them. You've been their partner for all these years, and when something like that happens to them, you have no say-so. You know, there's nothing fair about that in the world. So for me, that was an amazing moment for me to be able to unite everybody who was there, 33 couples, in one of the biggest steps of their lives. And it just so happened that two of them were like two of them was my boys. I didn't even know they were gonna. I didn't know who was getting married. I was just knew how to do my job, get out there, Madonna, the whole thing, Macklemore, the crew, and then I'm like, oh snap, they were my boys. First couple up, looking fly too. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what's up. So it was fun.
That's
it was
beautiful.
fun. It was a good time.
Speaking of beautiful and a good time, Summer Jam, thank you very much for coming.
That was so much fun.
Yo, and thank you for always being a part of our events too. When, we had Busta Rhymes thing, you came out over in Newark. That was dope.
Yep.
So how did it come about for Summer Jam? Remy reached out?
Yeah, I mean, I was in Switzerland, chilling. And
So you just chill in Switzerland now?
I just chill in Switzerland.
Okay.
I just, I go from fast to, slow, but Switzerland is neutral.
Okay. Switzerland.
I go chill over there and take it down
Queen
and relax.
Latifah in Switzerland.
Don't be
beautiful.
afraid. Black people travel. Okay?
Yeah, they do.
And it's hard to keep Jerseyans in Jersey.
Yeah.
We gonna get somewhere else. We get trained in Jersey, and then we go.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. So, but yeah. So Sha called me like, "Yo, Remy doing Summer Jam. She wants you to come out," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I don't know if I can do it. Let's see when is it? So once I figured out that the dates could work, I literally landed that day. I went home to my mother's house, took a shower, changed clothes, got ready, and went right into it. And that was that. And I had no idea who else was gonna be there either. I didn't know it was gonna be all these different girls. I'm
Yeah.
like, this was a class reunion for
Yeah.
me. Remy gave me my own class reunion. Moni, Light, you know what I'm saying?
Rage,
Rod
yeah.
Digger, Rage. I was like, yo, this is dope. So
Did
yeah,
you
it
know
was
the
great.
internet was going to try to spin it and make it look like everybody that jumped up there with Remy Ma was somehow having a problem with Nicki Minaj because of their problem?
Well,
Did you
that's
anticipate that? Or is that just like,
I didn't really care. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't even know it was all of us. You know what I mean? So I didn't really even think about that. I don't really, people can think and say whatever they want to say. This wasn't really a moment for all of that. This was a moment for us.
and for hip hop?
And for hip hop, yes. And there's room for all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in Switzerland when the record came out. I was
Yeah.
like, Missy sent me that. Like, yo, you heard this? I'm like, what? Okay, thank you, because I was over here and it was nothing. Radio silence over here. I'm listening to alternative and crazy dance stuff. And yeah, I needed some good
hip-hop,
hip. Oh
some
man,
bars.
I needed it so bad, and it was so good. It was just the idea. Like I love. Let me tell you something. I support females in hip hop. I always have. I always will. There's room for all of us, and nobody, to my knowledge, that's younger than me, invented this. So you don't get to claim it. You don't get to rule it. You know what I'm saying? This is all of ours. All of ours. You know what I'm saying? And my name is Queen. So, what am I supposed to get into everybody throwing the Queen thing around? I mean, come on, it's stupid. I'm not going there with that. All I care about is that females who rap get to have their records played, get to hear that their voices get to be heard. Because for a minute, it was like nothing. You know what I mean? Nicki was like the only one practically.
Yep.
And that was never cool with me. I'm like, what about everybody else? This can't be a movement. We can't keep this thing going with one person. We need a bunch of us. Like when I was out, it was me, it was Light, it was Moni, Salt and Pepper. Like you could jump on each other's records. Kim jumped on this record with this one with Brat, and then Foxy would jump on with this, and then they jumped on it together. Missy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like an Eve, and it's always great when there's a bunch of us doing this, so we can all elevate it at the same time. Because we outnumbered, yes, we get that, but when we cut through, we make a statement. Like we there. It's always been like that. If 20 guys get through, one girl gets through. There's something about her record, they gonna still stick with her because she just, she stands out from the pack. But we don't have to have these small numbers. We all need to be out there. It makes it all much more fun. And we make records that guys don't make, you know what I mean, necessarily. So it's just we need that flavor.
It keeps the culture healthy. It keeps the culture healthy.
Yeah, you can't
You can't
operate
just
with
be
half
all
your
dudes.
body.
You can't just be all dudes.
No, because then it becomes like the music suffers. Like the music to me really does suffer. And the music did suffer for a long time. I mean, even guys, they got to get in touch with their feminine side. I don't know if they realize how many female hip hop lovers are out here or what you passing on, you know what I mean? But Like, y'all gotta get with it. And if you see like all of the really top successful rappers with longevity, they make various records. They don't make the same record over and over and over, saying the same thing over and over. I mean, like, okay, how many dollars can you throw? How much busting open can you see? Like, we got that. That's fun. But like, can you make it better?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or give me more.
Diversify
Can you say
your
the same
content.
thing better, or are you gonna say it just like that guy said it?
Right.
It's kind of, but I think this is a great time for hip hop. Like, to me, hip hop is back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People always smashing on the kids, the youngsters, and it's like, what? Give them a second. You know what I mean? MySpace came out, right? And then everybody became a producer and an artist overnight. And it was the most horrible music you've ever heard. And people were freaking out around me like, yo, this shit is over, it's rap. Like, I'm like, no, just give them like 5 years. They're going to figure this out. They're going to whittle out the best, from the worst. And they're going to hear one good record or one good rapper. They're going to realize, wait, no, that's music. Okay, that is not music. So, and now they figuring it out. And Drake helped that, just Drake coming out. It was like, no, that's music right there. That right there, I don't know what that is. So over time, you got the Drakes and you got the Kendricks. You always got the Wheezys. You know what I mean? Nicki doing her thing, like making all kinds of different music. People figured it out. Now I feel like it's back.
It's very diverse right now.
That's how it should
Very
be.
diverse.
That's
Which
how
is
it should be. So, we got the South doing their thing, which is everywhere now. It's not even like just down south, the Caribbean flavor, like we was just talking about, is under everything, which connects to Africa to me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We hearing a lot of music out of Nigeria, South Africa,
Yep.
and that's in hip hop, that's in house music, that's across the board. It's in pop songs now, that Caribbean beat.
Yep.
So I think it's always better when we have more diverse people. We keep this whole thing healthy, and music is something universal. It's something that's supposed to connect us. And it's also something that's supposed to be used to speak about what you're seeing going on around you. And I feel like, a lot of rappers, they lost their balls. They just don't have, they got soft. They got soft. Like, when things are going on in the world, like with Trump or elections, or, this was the stuff we chewed on, like, or how much heroin, people are addicted to heroin, or, where's the flip side of the Molly Percocet? Okay, fine. Well, the flip side is that you missing out on life. You sleep, you crashed your car. I mean, I'm not judging either way. I'm just saying it's always good to have both those sides. With us, it was crack. Crack invaded us, and it took our friends away because they was on that
Destroyed
pipe. You know what I
families.
mean?
Yeah,
So we
man.
didn't just talk about how fun it is to get coked up. We talked about how bad it is too. You know what I'm saying? Or HIV or different things that were happening. We spoke on that stuff. That's where you got a Boogie Down Productions, or Eric B. and Rakim, or Queen Latifah, various artists who would talk about what was going on both sides, from many perspectives. And so, we were connected to, we had the power to change people's minds about things going on in the world, not just whose ass is the fattest, dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like we actually helped stop, apartheid in South Africa by getting people to divest in companies that were doing business over there. Okay, you want to, sell Coca-Cola in South Africa? We not drinking that. Okay, oh shit, we not drinking that. Okay, we're going to have to divest. So they pulled their money out, until they got it together. We do have that power, but we just don't use it like we should.
And I don't think a lot of people do the homework on a lot of the things, which is some of our fault, my fault in media that we.
Mine too. I mean, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But that's why the
of
Kendricks,
educating and having a conversation.
I think that's why we appreciate the Kendricks and the Coles, because a lot of the young kids, they'll go for, the rappers are popping, lean or whatever. But then it's really refreshing to see the young kids really embrace a J. Cole and champion him and empower
Chance
him.
the Rapper.
Yeah,
Guess
Chance
why?
the Rapper.
They want this.
Yeah.
They've been craving it. I mean, we've been getting shoved down our throats with, and listen, I listen to hip hop stations like I'm 15. You know what I mean? Until I just can't take two. Okay, bitch. Okay, fine. Whew, let me take a break. Change the station. Then once I decompress, then I come back. You know what I mean? I just gotta I gotta re-up or whatever. But they've always wanted this. It's always kids who are not, just trying to listen to hard kind of music, trap music, and it's good trap music. You know what I mean? But it's not. They're not always trying to listen to.
people want a balanced diet. They want balance, man.
Exactly.
They want
That's
diversity.
Because there's no way that the Tribe Called Quest of the world and the Jungle Brothers of the world and us, you know what I mean, De La of the world would never have existed if everybody just wanted to hear the hard club thump, real rough shit. You know what I mean? You had to have that. You want to have fun too. You know what I mean? So I think people been, and then plus with so much going on with the police brutality and all kinds of things, like hip hop, it's like somebody is saying what we all feel, and you loved having somebody that could say that for us. You felt connected to that because you felt that way, and you're like, what can I do? Well, at least if this rapper is doing it, I feel like I could connect to this rapper. I could connect to a Common. I could connect to a J. Cole, a Chance, who's not just rhyming, but making dope records and out there doing something. So you feel like, wow, there's something I could do. I could at least support him, And
it makes being aware cool. It makes being informed cool. And I think we're living in a time we've gotten to a point where that's okay. Like I remember specifically when you was trying to have conversations about social awareness. What you trying to kick knowledge, nigga?
Yep.
Like, you always trying to have fun.
Kick knowledge.
Like, damn.
Yep.
But now we living in a time where people want that information. Queen, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you. I love you so much. And
please go watch Girls Trip, please.
She's in a filthy, fun, rated R comedy with women going out cheating on their men at the Essence Festival.
No cheating.
No.
Men is cheating.
She's part of the Flossy Posse.
That's right. There's some ratchetness involved, though. I do not deny that, and I embrace it gloriously.
Give it up for Queen Latifah.
Me and my girls trip. Thank you.